Thanks everyone for coming tonight. Look at you all. Wow. Awesome. So, money is for creating environments within which the experience of money cannot buy. I heard that many, many years ago in a Van City newsletter. Let me say it again. Money is for creating environments within which the experience of money cannot buy. Well, for 25 years, I've been involved in the beautiful, magical sanctuary of Xenia on Bowen Island, and it really is that place where people have an experience that money cannot buy. And what exactly is that? And why does that relate to honor your calling? My subject tonight is really talking about honoring your calling. And I'm sure that many of you in this room tonight or listening in, you are honoring your calling. But how do you know if you are? You know. You know if you are. And if you are not honoring your calling, you're usually, maybe not satisfied. You know there's something in you yearning. I was at the Royal Bank for 7 years on the 35th floor. And every day I drove in, my soul was dying a little bit every day. And I knew in 1986 I was unemployable and I could never ever work again. And that's exactly what happened. Now I'm going to kind of fast forward on this one because I'm going to come back to radical trust. But I want to share a little story. Just recently, I had a meditation with, click, one more, you're right, Greg, it takes a couple of seconds. I did a meditation with actually Nola, one of the members of Karen's team. And she says, okay, relax, and you go to your very, very beautiful place, your place of sanctuary. And I went there, and she says, okay, from now, for the next couple of minutes, I want you to play. Do whatever you want to do, just play. And remember, because this is your imagination, you can fly, swim, do whatever you want. And in that moment, I said, whoa. So I was in one of our fields, and I flew down, and I picked up the donkey. Our donkey. I picked him up in my arms, Tofino, and I just rocked him and held him. And then I went and put him outside of his little paddock into greener pastures, which is where he loves to go. And I thought, whoa, this is cool. And I started going around and renovating and fixing fences and putting up different barns and things like that. And I had such an amazing experience. So a couple of days later, I'm like, what? It really impacted me. It stuck with me for a couple of days. And then suddenly I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so in my childhood, I would go to the store every week and spend my pocket money on a farm animal. And it would be painstaking, the decision of, do I get the little dog, or am I going to get the haystack, or am I going to get a fence post, or a horse, or a pig? But I had this beautiful farm that I bought as a child, bit by bit, piece by piece, that I since handed on to my daughter, and I think she's lost it. But nevertheless, it was my dream. And it was just this, recently I went, oh my God, that's what I created. Oh my God, in 25 years, there's an image of Xenia. And it's just like a little, that's exact. If you haven't been there, you have to come there and see that. So that really made me think about the absolute importance for people to find what is calling to them, what is unmet, what is unfinished, what is it they really want to do. From 8 years old, I wanted to write a book, but I was too scared. Oh my God, what will people think? Who do I think I am? I'm nobody. And it's like, shh. And I hear this with people. Angelyn, you're lucky. You can do that. And I say, when a vision has you, like this, I had this vision for 9 years before it manifested. And I bought a broken down old sheep farm, 38 acres on Bowen Island. And it was a wreck. And everyone thought, what the hell are you doing? Oh my God. I took people there to partner with me and buy in with me. But they would look at it and say, oh no, this is a piece of crap, you know. But now, 25 years later, they're coming back going, wow, you really had vision. You could see. So I think when we're given a vision, because I really do believe that we're had by a vision, we're also given the resources to make it happen. And it may not be obvious, and it doesn't come on a platter. And there are lots of hurdles. But depending on your commitment, because commitment isn't the time you put in, it's the line you cross. We can put in all kinds of time, and we can pretend, and like previous speaker, Paige, was talking about trying. Well, I'll try. I can try that. Well, no. It's simple. Commitment isn't the time you put in, it's the line you cross. And I really learned how to cross this line through a radical trust process that I'm actually not going to speak about right now because of the time restriction, but it's in my book. It's called Radical Trust, and it's coming out in a few weeks. But I want to share a very important aspect of, and it's about the messages that we receive and the alignment of our calling and our vision. There's clues in our childhood. What were you passionate about, or what did you hate? Because sometimes it shows up almost on the opposite. Your cause, your passion, your dharma, your calling is about something opposite. So, but there's clues that show up. And have you ever noticed how life moves you? It moves you kind of over here, and you're like, no, I don't want to go that way. And then it moves you over there. So the really important thing is trusting the messages that come and taking action upon them. Now, I'm going to share a very, very graphic, so I hope you won't be disturbed by this next image. But I was writing my first book. So when I turned 60, 4 years ago, I did my first book. And it's called From Squeak to Roar. And it was about 16 different animals, or there were 17 different animals, and how these animals do this particular business through these characteristics and phases. And each animal, I'd walk up to Honeymoon Lake each day, and I would get the next animal, and then all the characteristics, and I would be tumbling, writing it or speaking it onto my iPhone. And it was a really fun book that wrote me. So there was the horse, and then there was the dog and the cat, and so I thought it was all finished, and I had my beautiful adopted daughter, Jessie Flynn, do the illustrations of every one of these animals. And then I got this message, okay, now you need to add links. Links? Yeah. So I ignored the message. It's like, it doesn't really make sense. You need to add links. Links? How does links do this business? I don't know. So I ignored it. So then one day I'm in the office and I get a phone call and somebody says, oh my God, Angelyn, quick, there's this dead cat at Opa. Opa is our 1,000-year-old Douglas fir tree. We went running over there and we're like, oh my God, what is, I thought it was my big cat. It was a lynx. And it had died and been placed on the knee of Opa with a little smudge pot. And at first we thought, oh God, is this weird? Is this some offerings? Did somebody leave it there? Because we don't have lynx on Bowen Island, and we don't really have lynx. It's more of a northern BC, northern Alberta animal. So what is it doing here? It had been injured. You could tell by the back leg it had been injured. But it was beautiful, and it was just placed there like an honoring. And we did bring the police in because we thought, is this some weird, thing? And all of us agreed that for some reason somebody had left it there to honor it, bringing it to a sanctuary. So we did a beautiful burial. And so the next day I thought, okay, I better start Googling lynx. So I started Googling lynx. And the more I read about the characteristics of lynx, the more I thought, oh my God, I can't share that. That's how I've been doing my business so successfully. People say, well, Angelyn, how come you're so successful so quickly? What did you do? Oh, I would teach them the rules of the way I was taught to do it. I taught them that for years and years, and What else are you doing? So as I'm reading links, I'm going, whoa. So the least amount of energy for the most amount of results. It's almost like instead of going and pitching 10 people a day, you go to that one person that week, and it was the right person. So I thought, there's no way I'm going to share that. So I let it go again. So the very next day, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Has anybody else woken up like at 3 in the morning and you have to take dictation or something? Write out your Skype name. Angelyn, write out your Skype name. What? Get up, go to your office, and write out your Skype name. Yeah, get up. So I get up out of bed, and I walk across the corridor to my treehouse office, and I write out my Skype name, Angelyn Xenia. I went back to bed. And then the next morning, I woke up and I'm like, what was that I did in the middle of the night? What did I have to write? Angelyn Xenia, which had been my Skype name for 5 years. And I went, oh my God. Oh, okay. I'll put links in. Links goes in the book. Links goes in the book. So links went in the book. So, it's really, really important to follow these messages. Now, that was rather bold. You could say very, very bold messages. And it's not that we get messages in science quite that way. I know Paige works with the angels. But life is speaking to us all day long. And the question is, am I listening? Because, I feel so sad when I hear people, they're so talented. They have so much potential. But they're not honoring their calling. They're doing their job that they hate, like I did. Year after year after year after year. One of my friends was in nursing. Angelyn, I'm going to retire. She retired early. She said, I'm going to work with you. What did she do? She retired, and then she started getting more nursing shifts, just temporarily. And before long, she was doing full-time nursing shifts again. And yet she is full of potential. She is so talented. It breaks my heart, but you can only do what you can do to encourage people. And it's a question, am I ready? Are you ready to live a fulfilled life? Because when we're working through the soul rather than the ego, we are happy. We're happy. We are fulfilled. We're at peace. Not every minute of every day. Stuff happens, right? But when we're aligned and following and listening and acting upon and taking the courage to do that, like some people, this is our singing chef at Xenia, Carolyn. She is fantastic. She comes from the heart. Her heart goes into the food. Her heart goes into the presentation and the art. And I love watching people living their talent. And she is one of them. If I watch TV, you can guarantee I'm watching, America's Got Talent, The X Factor, or the home improvement, the transformational shows. I love transformation. And I love it when I see people show up as themselves. So for myself too, I've definitely shown up after 60 years, gave myself permission to write books. And that my third one comes out in a few weeks, Radical Trust. But here's the thing, and I just finished a writer's retreat at Xenia that I was leading. And this saying came up that we really captured. And in fact, it set the stage for the entire retreat. Because I said, let's not blah, 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 blah to get to know each other. Let's just talk from the soul speak. Let's not worry about, if it's not coming from the soul, let's not speak. So we had lots of silent sections throughout the 5 days, and it was amazing. But we said, is it kind? Is it real? And does it improve on the silence? That is profound. And so what happened to this group, they were really, really, really bonded, deeply connected. And the writing that came out of them was profound. It just blew us all away. I mean, we are now a very connected group. We had a Zoom the other day, a month later, from that program. So I encourage everybody, and you might not be able to, I'm saying to people, here's a little, what's the word I'm looking for? When you don't, a disclaimer, that's the word, disclaimer. Here's my disclaimer. Don't quit your job and go and do your calling if you're not financially set up to do that. Let yourself use a bridge. Take a bridge so that you can move from one reality to another, but don't wait your whole life. Don't wait your whole life to show up in your gifts and talents. It's not even up to you. You're not allowed to hold on to your gifts and talents without sharing them, because our calling has to do with contribution, has to do with service. And I am a real cheerleader of everybody that really wants to stand up and live their calling now. So thank you so much for being here. If you would like to contact me, come out to Xenia, have a walk, hang out with Opa. You will find me at xeniacenter.com. That's Xenia, xeniacenter.com. You can spell center either way. We've got both URLs. And send me an email. Tell me about your dream. Tell me about what's calling to you. And if you say, no, Angelyn, how can I do that? I'll go, shh, shh. But you need all this money. I didn't have any money to buy a 38-acre sheep farm, but I had a vision. Shh, quiet. But I'm too old now. Shh. Well, is it quiet? Shh. And just fall into that space that knows the truth. And you will be given every single thing you need as you need it. Thank you.